All right, man. We're back.
Hey guys.
And this is An Hour to Kill, episode 26, covering the Italian horror maestro himself, Dario Argento. Covering three of his films anyway. We're not covering everything, his whole filmography, none of that. But so we're gonna
Three
be
of his
covering.
more lesser films as well. But
Yeah. 1993's Trauma, um, Stendahl Syndrome from '96, and Sleepless from 2001. But let's see, we got Texas in the house. Got like
hey,
and subscribe, yeah, man.
cheers, Dax.
My beautiful wife's here. Hey, honey. Hey,
Hey,
Darren.
Tash.
Baby. I just seen you a minute ago, but hey again. Yeah, man. So yeah, man, what's been going on?
Not too much, man. Just been busy preparing for this. I haven't watched that many films in the past week as I should have, really, because I got
Yeah,
quite a few different streams and stuff next week with The Rot. And I'm not sure if Chris is doing one next week, so I got a few films to watch for that. But yeah, not too bad. Busy. It's
yeah, man. It's been crazy busy.
Do you have a
Myself,
good Halloween after?
it's getting colder, you know.
Oh, it is here as well. Yeah,
But I mean,
I put my heater on.
cold here is not probably like your kind of cold. I don't know,
Oh,
but
it's pretty cold, yeah.
yeah,
Because I put my heater on, I'm still cold in the bedroom. So I think about doing it in the living room at some point. But
it's
yeah, we got
probably.
bonfire night here as well tomorrow. So if you hear like fireworks going off in the background, then it's just that.
Oh yeah,
Uh, but
okay.
yeah,
Dude,
I had a quiet Halloween. Do you have a good one?
yeah, it is what it is. Just another day.
Yes, yeah. We watch films like that all year round anyway, don't we? So
I mean,
yeah.
I watch horror movies year round, so like whatever. But
Yeah, yeah. It was kind of quiet on YouTube as well. There wasn't that many channels doing stuff Halloween night, and I
yeah,
guess everyone's just watching films, isn't they? Really.
I see. What Texas says, the panel of pain. Yeah, man,
Panel of Pain. Cheers, Dex.
appreciate it. I was pop locking to the theme song. Hell yeah.
But yeah, this is going to be a good show. I think. Been looking forward to this one. Or every Argento film, in some way, like I can get. Well, most of them I can get some sort of kind of pleasure out of, because I'm sure we're going to be covering his really bad ones at some point as well. But these three are all, I think they're all great films. They've all got good, points to them. But anyone in the chat, if like you've seen these three films, just let us know your opinions, and
Yeah,
hopefully we can do them justice. We say every week, but hopefully we can.
right. And the thing about it is, I don't want to spoil them because I don't know if people have seen the bangers. More than likely, they've seen Deep Red.
Yeah,
Uh, More than likely, they've seen Suspiria. You know, uh,
yeah. There's no point
Tenebrae.
in
I would say Phenomena.
yeah. There's
Uh,
there's no point in really spoiling any of these, so we'll do the
right.
reviews. We'll go kind of in depth like we always do, but
Yeah,
yeah, there's going to be no major spoilers. There might be a few little spoilers here and there, but nothing that's going to affect people wanting to watch these at a future date.
if if you can hold on just a minute, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab the titles. I forgot to grab them for some crazy reason.
Yeah,
Just
that's all
wait.
right. Yeah. So yeah, like I say, guys, if you've got any like questions as well, just put them in the comments. Would really love to hear your thoughts on these three films. Maybe as we go on to like each one, or you could just put them in there now. It's entirely up to you. Hopefully that you end up liking these three films if you haven't already watched them, because, like I said, there's something great in all of these. They don't quite live up to the Suspirias, the Tenebrae phenomena. They're
I
pretty
really
good film.
I like Trauma a lot. I know it's got its flaws, but it's got
Yeah,
there's a lot of good shit in it. It's got Laurie Piper in it. I mean, or Piper Laurie. Uh,
it's an underrated one. Well, I think all these are underrated.
and it's Asia Argento's first film. Uh, well, first film with her dad anyway. I think she's been in some previous stuff as a child.
She was in Demons too, yeah, but she was
Demons.
really young,
Yeah.
really young in that one.
Right. But so that's 93's Trauma. But I kind of like this artwork better. I kind of like that.
I do. I got the DVD with the same artwork. I love the blue tint of that cover. I'm not fussed on this cover, to be honest, of the Blu-ray. But yeah, this is a good one to start off, actually.
Let's see. I got some Tanta. Says duck soup is for Jalo.
Hey, Tanta.
Okay, duck soup, huh?
Duck soup.
I can get with it. I've ate some duck. But well, you want me to start off with the synopsis, or you want to go with it? How you want to do it?
No, you can go if you want, and then I'll chip in and we'll talk through some of the better scenes.
Okay. Well, I'll say the cast first. So you got Christopher Rydell as David Parsons. He's playing he's an artist for a local news station, and they're in Minneapolis. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where it was shot. It's in Minneapolis. But and you got Aja Argento playing Aura Petrescu, Piper Laurie. You know her from. Everybody knows her from Carrie. She's Carrie's mom.
She plays a very similar kind of character to that in this as well.
Yeah, kind of. And then you got Dominique Saran is Stefan Petrusco. So that's the three: the mother, the father, and then the daughter. Then you got Frederick Forrest as Dr. Judd, and then you got James Russo as Captain Travis. It's basically there's a serial killer. He's got a unique device. I guess you'd call it the Noosomatic.
Noosomatic, yeah.
Yeah, the Noosomatic.
I think Tom Savini christened it that, didn't he?
Huh?
Tom Savini christened it the Noosomatic, I think.
Yeah, Savini. Because you got some Savini effects in here. And it's just kind of funny about the Savini thing, too. Because Savini was like, I was listening to him talk about it, and he's saying, like, all the, because he did the heads and stuff. But then Argento's like, well, he did a little bit. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, which is it, But
I think he was doing other films at the time. I'm not sure which films. So he kind of come on set for a little bit. He didn't do a lot of time. I think he did most of the dummy heads, but not everyone, because he mentioned in his interview, the one was like sent over from, I think, Dick Smith. One of Dick Smith's guys sort of sent one over because they were pressed for time. But so, I'm not sure.
So anyway, I kind of derailed a little bit, y'all.
Okay.
So there's a serial killer, and he's using this Noosomatic tool device, decapitating his victims, and he's only killing when it's raining, too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Exception of one kill, it's not raining, so
right.
But for the most part, and then you got a troubled 16-year-old girl that's Aja Argento's playing Aura, and she's got anorexia. So, but anyway, she witnesses the murder of her parents, basically. Like, well, she sees the killer hold both her parents' heads in front of his face. And
Yeah,
that
yeah,
shot just cracks me up every time I see that shit. Like he's got both the heads and he's like going back behind the trees and it's raining and shit. Like,
yeah, yeah.
but there's another part in this movie that cracks me up too. But anyway, so she witnesses that. She's like freaking out and uh, but yeah, so she's helped by this like she's deciding to kill herself. So she's gonna jump off the damn bridge, and then that news artist that I was talking about, David Parsons or whatever, he's an ex heroin addict, so he goes to help her, and so she don't kill herself, and then gets her from jumping off the bridge, and it's a very strange relationship because she's 16, and I thought he was in his mid 20s, but I think you were saying he's closer to 30.
That's what I got out of what I've been reading up reviews and all that, because when I actually watched the film, I thought he was maybe 22, 23, which wouldn't, it's bad, but it wouldn't seem that bad. But apparently he was a lot older, they say. So I think they're talking at least like 10 years older.
Yeah.
Um,
But he's it's weird because at first I'm thinking he's just trying to help the girl, but then there's a couple of moments where it's like, he's getting close to the fire, but he ain't getting too damn close. You know what I mean? Because
yeah, I
she's
think that's
underage.
to do with like the love story in this. I
Right.
think he kind of can't help. I don't think he goes out with the intention to like, go with a underage girl or what have you. I think
No.
it's just the way the characters develop, and he kind of falls in love with her.
Right.
But she does look really young. I will say that until one scene, which
Yeah.
she does
There's
not look very very young
yeah.
in the one
There's a
scene. But
topless scene, and I was like really tripped out. I was like, damn, which I've seen this movie several times. I mean, but it still trips me out that she's 16 and she's topless in this movie. But whatever.
and she's playing an anorexic as well. And I did a stream with John Grande at one point, and we covered this.
Mm-hmm.
And John Grande was right, because he said, what anorexic girl would you see with a pair of tits like that? It just
Yeah.
wouldn't happen. But because I
Yeah,
think
there's
that,
also like a touch to going out of the movie now. I don't mean to stray like this, but I just want to bring it up about her. I guess that would be her stepsister.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
she was
Look,
anorexic, right?
right, yeah. She's
So
actually in the last the last credits of the film, doing the
right,
dance.
doing the
So like
dancing with the. I guess that was like a reggae kind of band.
yeah, it comes out. We'll come on to that, but it just that ending just comes out of nowhere, really.
Yeah, yeah, and the score is so damn like it's like Argento described it. He wanted a celestial score, where it
Yeah,
sounds like you're above the clouds or some shit. And I think they hit the mark on it. But
I think like the actual filming of the scenes in this as well was done with a lot of smoke, and you can tell by looking at it,
yeah,
it's kind of got this dreamlike atmosphere.
right.
Um, and I think he like utilizes that really well to
But
create atmosphere.
during this time, Argento was trying to spread out to you know to more international, like to an American audience. So he filmed this movie. And he did Two Evil Eyes with Romero, you know, uh,
Yeah,
around the same time. Um, but the unconventional love story, like we were saying, it's just it's kind of strange, so don't you think? Like, but because there's one moment where he, like the main dude David or whatever, where he can't find her. He thinks maybe she killed herself or something. But it's like
yeah,
kind of like a callback to Vertigo.
right,
Same
yeah, yeah,
situation,
yeah,
you know.
absolutely, yeah. Um, I think for me it works as a love story as well, because I've said before, I think it really does work, and I really buy into those two characters as well, falling for each other.
Yeah,
Even though she does, like, again, I'll say she does look really young
yeah, she
in
does.
some
Very
scenes.
young. She don't look 16. Like she
No,
looks
it's about 14
13
or
or
something.
something. Yeah, crazy.
But Argento did that anyway with Jennifer Connelly as well in Phenomena. He likes to bring in the younger actress.
Yeah.
I think with this, it was going to be made for was it Bridget Fonda, this one?
Yeah,
Or
Bridget Fonda. Yeah.
yeah, I think they was kind of going to go with Daryl Hannah as well at some point before
Oh, shit.
filming.
Okay.
But then everything kind of, I don't like with Aja just all fell into place. I think that Daryl Hannah was this one. It might even be Stendhal. I might be jumping the gun, but I'll double check my notes in a bit. But yeah, like you say with the Tom Savini kind of effects as well, because
Yeah, with
the
the
opening
head.
scene, yeah, the opening scene I think is done really well. With the chiropractor, and you've got the rain in the background, and he beheads this chiropractor, and he starts off well, doesn't he, in most of his films, and because Franco Ferrini was saying to him, he'd rather like with a couple of the other films we're gonna like, certainly with Stendhal, why he didn't have any he'd go out with a bang, like basically his opening scene would be amazing. But Franco Ferrini used to say, "You're better off, Dario, finishing with a greater scene because people will remember the end more than the beginning." But I'm with Dario on this one. I think you've got to grab someone's attention early to keep them. Otherwise, they're not gonna, they're gonna just watch the first 10 minutes and switch off.
Yeah, I was hearing that saying the volcano of the mind.
Yeah.
Like the blows its load at the beginning, but
yeah.
But
it's difficult to keep. It's difficult to start off with a great scene and then actually keep the momentum pace going. Yeah.
To keep it all the way through the film.
He does do in Suspiria, obviously.
And Deep Red, I think, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Several of his films, like he pulled it off. I really like this Trauma, though, man. It's something to it. I like Piper Laurie. She's fucking great, man.
That seance scene
really
as well.
I wanted to read a quote. I'm gonna read a quote from Argento though about this movie.
Yeah.
So he said, "Deep soul, my deep red for a new generation." He's speaking on Trauma. He says, "Usually my stories come from newspaper articles or things I hear on the streets. Not this time. It's from deep down inside me."
Exactly.
And they were dealing with the death of Daria Nicolodi's daughter as well.
Yeah. So with this, kind of reminds me of Deep Red, is the early on seance scene as well, where she says the killer is in the room.
Right. That shit, and certain shots where the camera movement goes, zooms in on a certain object.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going up the staircase. There's things that remind me of Deep Red for sure. But then I see other scenes too, like the little boy next door to the killer.
Yeah.
He's collecting butterflies, right? So you see the camera movement from the point of view of a butterfly. That shit reminded me of opera with the ravens, those shots.
Yeah. And Phenomena as well with the insects. It's kind of like a greatest hits, I think you were saying before, weren't you?
Yeah, I think a lot, these three have a lot of that going on,
Yeah, I think he's obviously trying to crack America with this one. He come off Two Evil Eyes, which hadn't done very well with George Romero, that you mentioned. And this was kind of a big flop. I don't know if you read into that.
It didn't do very well. And Two Evil Eyes didn't either. But I mean, I'm not a big fan of Two Evil Eyes. So, maybe I need to go back and watch Argento's Black Cat, but
it's not very good. I've gone back to watch it a few times, and Romero's story as well, I find is awful. But Argento's is not quite as bad, but it's not good. It's not a good black
Speaking
cat
on
kind
that,
of.
so I heard something about like, so Harvey Keitel. Did you hear about this?
Right, go on.
And Harvey Keitel had his lawyer contacted Savini and his team, and said that like Harvey Keitel doesn't want to see his head in a picture. He don't want the head to be in the same room with him. None of that shit.
Right,
There's some
yeah.
film, yeah. That was that Two Evil Eyes? He loses his head.
Yeah, yeah. I think kind of freaked him out, didn't it?
Yeah.
And funny with Two Evil Eyes as well. Argento was working obviously with Savini, and Savini kind of wanted that part of Harvey Keitel because I think Savini went over to Tom Savini's house, and they
Right.
kind of, because the way he puts it, Savini said they got on great. He don't speak a word of English, but they were like going through sign language and
Yeah.
watching films and
Yeah.
all that, which is kind of
A
cool.
lot of charades and shit.
Yeah, but yeah, so Savini wanted that part big time, but yeah, obviously it went to Keitel.
Yeah.
But I think it would have been a worse film with Savini in it, even worse than
Yeah.
what it is, to be honest.
Right. But yeah, yeah. Savini was also, he was like pretty disappointed that Trauma didn't have as much gore as he was like, the one film I get to do with Argento, and then this shit ain't even gore. Like, he wanted to do
Which
more.
I think works in his favor. I do.
think so too. I don't think it needed it, like, for this story, even though this story is like batshit crazy, right? Like the whole, if you think
It
about it,
really
like
is, yeah.
if you think about the idea behind it, like the motive of the killer for sure, like
Oh yeah,
it's kind of
absolutely.
weird, like,
It's completely fucking batshit crazy.
yeah, but
If
I
you
like
sat
it.
down,
I dig it. And the insane asylum scene, that's
yeah,
probably the funniest scene in the whole fucking movie, because the killer just gets through killing somebody
right.
with the new somatic thing, and then you see the David Parsons guy going through the hallway and shit, and all these crazy people are like just, and the fucking sirens are going off and shit, and then this one lady comes out of, and she sees him walk by the dead body, and then she just starts coming up to him saying, "You did it! You did it! You
Yeah.
did it! You did it!"
It is funny. It's not supposed to be, obviously, but yeah, that the whole portrayal of like the asylum as well is kind of stereotypical. But yeah. So Yeah, you did mention the topless scene with Aja, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's an awkward moment because
it's very awkward.
Because he's not coming onto her or anything like that. But then in that one moment, he's like, he changes, like, all of a sudden. So he fell in love from looking at her naked. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Well, it works for me because I think I would have, because she looks, even though she looks young, and I don't want to,
Yeah.
But you can't deny that shot is not great.
Right. But I think the subplot with the little boy next door, man, it just adds. I like it. I really dig it. And what do you think? I mean, I think it's because the whole time I'm thinking, like, damn, you're like, the suspense is, the fucker's in the killer's house, and he finds the new somatic thing, and he puts it over his fucking head. Like, I'm thinking, what the fuck, man?
Oh God, the suspense in that, because you're thinking, shit. Because he goes to press the button as well.
Yeah, he's about to cut his own shit off. Like,
the bit with the kid reminds me a little bit, because there's a little blonde kid in there's a slasher called Death Valley, and he kind of got, like, he's blonde and he kind of got the same look, and he does see things, that he's not supposed to. So I don't know whether maybe Argento had seen that. That was like 1982, I think. But yeah, I think it works really well. There's even the kind of like Rear Window in a way, where he's watching through the window and he sees this head all the time.
He's a big fan of Hitchcock, so
yeah.
I mean, a lot of these guys are, man. I see Sean's in here, man. Hey, man.
Hey,
Appreciate
man, yeah.
popping in,
Cheers.
man. Uh, yeah, but yeah, I like the whole subplot with the little kid, man. I think it adds a little humor to it, and then he's got he grabs the gecko and shit, and I'm like,
I
holy
mean, he
shit,
comes in. We're not going to spoil it, but he does come
yeah,
into play right at the end, which is great. So
hell yeah,
it's a fantastic scene. I do think this is because we're going to come on to Stendhal like in a bit. I do think this is vastly like underrated, um, and I think because it flopped in America, they didn't put any good marketing behind the film. Apparently, it may have gone straight to like DVD or
yeah,
and VHS, which was kind of strange. Um, but yeah, I think this is one of his underrated ones. I do.
yeah, man. I really dig it. It's not, you know, it's not the best. I mean, there's some plot holes, and it's not the best writing, but I think it works. I think you can pop it in, man, and have a good time with it. We got
I have
Holland in
got.
here.
Oh, hey,
What's going on,
Holland.
man?
Yeah, man. I was going to say there is one kind of scene that doesn't work for me, and I think you know what I'm going to mention. It's the scene with Brad Dourif's character in the lift. When the
Yeah,
head comes flying down the lift. I
yeah,
don't know
man.
what the
Because
fuck
I'm
they were
wondering,
thinking.
like, so did I miss something? Did the killer inject him with something to paralyze him? I mean, because that's the only way that it works. Uh, uh, what do you think?
Yeah, he does something to him. Yeah.
But I think he's like paralyzed. So
Yeah.
because I thought the same thing, but then I thought that I saw the killer injected him with something.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I think he does. But it would have worked better with just the dummy head, I think, rather than superimpose his face coming down,
Oh
which
yeah,
just looks fucking stupid to me. I
yeah,
I think just the dummy head alone would have been all right. But you got
yeah,
that's definitely a nod to Deep Red because you
yeah,
got the doll as well in that scene. In the scene, um, and obviously the ending of Deep Red is don't want to spoil
right,
it, but kind of
yeah.
similar to that scene.
Oh yeah, very similar.
But he's great. He's just not used, Brad Dourif. He's not used as like what he should be in this film because he's
Yeah,
brilliant in everything he does, and he's kind of
and
on screen for like 5 minutes, isn't he? If that.
like you were saying about like all the different, like you were mentioning phenomena, and phenomena very much is in this film as well because it's like the whole family dynamic. Because in
Yeah,
in
yeah,
phenomena in phenomena, Jennifer Connelly's character, her dad's working all the time. He's a filmmaker, and then her mom. It's said that she just left, so she basically has no parents either. You know,
right,
and
yeah,
uh, there's the family thing, and her mother left on Christmas too, of all of all days in phenomena. So anyway, uh,
but yeah, like you say, you got the whole love story, which I think works. A lot of people didn't think it worked because of the age difference and all that.
it's the forbidden love.
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Um, I think it works I really do think it works as a love story as well as a slasher film because I think it's just
it's
even
definitely
more.
Argento's most sentimental film, probably. Uh, Too,
Yeah,
because
he
I
doesn't
see
do.
like
Go
the
on.
characters. The characters are really like mushy love, kind of not such a sexual thing, but it's like a mushy Hallmark kind of love or some shit. You know what I mean? Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. I think like he doesn't do love a lot in his films. You
no,
do kind of like with Deep Red. The two main characters are Dario and Nickelodeon.
yeah,
Um, but like you say, this is more. I think this is more real. It seems a little bit more real
hmm,
because there's kind of you can't deny that there's something there between them, even though it could be deemed as dodgy. I don't know, but
yeah,
and then you got the whole kind of like aspect towards the end as well with him being, or we know he's an ex-drug addict, and that comes into play as well during the end. And I think that was done kind of really good. I think the whole story is really good, actually. Apart from that one scene in the lift with Dior, I can't see much wrong with it. Yeah.
I wish that Dorf was in the film longer, though.
That's one thing, I suppose. Yeah.
I wish he was in the movie a little longer because he's over the top anytime. Like he's over the top in this too, but he's not in it very long. You know, it's just one scene where where he's coming up to him and he's like screaming his shit. You know what I mean?
And I mean, he does look like he's pissed off in that scene as well. He's superb in everything he does.
He's gold, man. He's gold every time. So, yeah, I wonder what they paid him. They must have paid him for like a day or some shit, you know?
Like, 5 minutes, basically. But we're not going to spoil this, but I think this has got one of Dario's best ever twist endings. I mean, it's fantastic the way it kind of plays in with the head hunting.
Yeah, you'd never figure that twist out.
No. I remember watching it and I was like, but because the first time I watched this, I was maybe a bit more on the fence about it, maybe thinking of like it's a good sort of 6 out of 10. But that twist at the end, I was like, fuck me, man. It's fucking brilliant, I think.
It is, man. It really is. I think it works really good. And it's a shame that nobody, like, this didn't get, you know, it wasn't received well with audiences here in America, you know.
I was, like, kind of shocked in a way to see how badly it did. Because another, like, aspect of the film as well, I think that Ruby Rain song is amazing. I think the way that's played throughout the film, like, it's quite a touching song, and I think it's an amazing soundtrack. But you know, I think it's Pino Donaggio as well, which kind of makes sense because you know he never does a bad soundtrack.
Yeah, I dig the soundtrack for sure.
I did think the chemistry between the two worked well as well. I think there was a kind of a chemistry between Rydell and Asia. I think it came through the screen. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I mean, it seems legit, man. And he was supposed to be like some big actor, and it just never happened for him. Because I think he did pretty damn good, personally.
I do, and he gets a lot of stick as well for this film. Like Argento fans don't really like his performance in that.
Really?
I don't. Yeah, I do. I honestly don't think he could have done a better performance.
I can think of several other characters from other movies that I don't care for him. You know, I like him better. You know.
He's like the thing I like about his character. I find he's likable, even though he does a few questionable things during the film, which you know. But I just think the character is really likable.
Yeah, because he's got this beautiful news woman, girlfriend, and he just drops her ass to go after her. But I mean, I think he's like he's a good dude. You know what I mean? He's just like the character.
God, yeah, absolutely. The way
a genuine guy, good guy. You know what I mean?
I mean,
I don't think it's anything sexual.
I don't think it was at first.
Right. Yeah.
I think he kind of took her under the wing. He genuinely saved her from.
That's kind of how he looked at her. You know, because he was a heroin addict, and he thought she was some kind of. But she obviously had that problem with her anorexic shit. You know. So.
Yeah, and it's the old thing again is you can't help who you fall in love with, and I think it's that kind of it just all happens naturally. It's not, you know, I think that comes through really well.
Yeah, but yeah, man, I dig it, man. I give Trauma. I give it a 7 out of 10. Straight up.
Okay, yeah, that's higher than I thought you would actually.
No, I've always liked Trauma, man.
I would give it a strong 8, bordering on a 9 at time. I
know it's not a masterpiece, but it works for me, and I don't get bored. I think there's so many good things that outweigh the bad things in the film, you know.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think
the Dr. Judge dude kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Pisses me off a little bit, but
you know. The Frederick Forrest character you're on about.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
kind of annoying a little bit. Like fucking,
I think this film suffered though in terms of not having a good release at any time, only until like a year or two ago with the Blu-ray,
Yeah.
because the DVD was because it's shot where he has lots of smoke in the film.
Right.
On DVD, it doesn't quite work. It can't like I don't know what it is, but the Blu-ray I highly recommend picking up because it's like watching a different film.
Yeah, man. The Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the one to get
I'm
definitely.
blown away, dude. Like, this shit is like, it looks like a damn 4K damn near. Like, really.
And this is why I actually think maybe the film didn't get a good response. Certainly, even when it was out on DVD, a lot of people didn't like it. And I'm finding now more people are warming to it. And I'm thinking it's because of the transfer, because you can actually, it's a much better experience basically of watching it. So yeah, I was amazed when Vinegar Syndrome. I didn't think this was ever going to get released.
Yeah, man. It's got a ton of features too. I mean, you got a short interview with Piper Laurie. You got a good interview with Argento on here. You even got the original unedited cut of the film that does look like shit on here.
Oh yeah, the work print.
The word print. It looks
I've been meaning
horrible.
to see it. I just never. I think I actually put it on once for like 5 minutes. And it's so bad.
I tried, but it's so fucking bad. It looks worse than fucking VHS did.
It does, yeah.
Like,
I mean, I can watch it. I definitely want to watch it at some point, just to see like the extended scenes and stuff.
Right.
But just want to get in as well that James Russo plays the cop, and he again, for me, doesn't have enough kind of time in the film.
Captain Travis, right?
Yeah, he's an amazing actor. I would have liked to see a little bit more of him as well.
I heard Savini talking about he palled around with him quite a bit. Like they hung out a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, like I say, I think highly recommended.
Hell yeah.
I think I'd be surprised if anyone like watching this has not seen it. To be honest, hopefully,
because a lot of people will say, just stop at opera. After opera, don't watch anymore. And I think that's bullshit. Yeah.
I think that's crazy. I like a lot of people say Opera is his last great film. I'm gonna like definitely not say that with the next two coming up. So I think Sleepless is a great film. I think his last masterpiece is the film we're going to mention now in a minute, the Stendahl Syndrome. I think that's a masterpiece.
We're going to the Stendahl Syndrome.
Yeah.
Which 1996. This is the one I got. I got the Blue Underground.
Yeah, I've got that one. I think I've shown this before, but I got the Arrow DVD as well, which was like really collectible back in the day.
Let me check that out. I'm gonna put it on full. Let's see. Nice. Yeah. That's a window.
This one's not the window one, but it comes with like a poster and all that stuff. So I kept hold of it really.
Yeah.
But this film, I absolutely fucking love this film, as you know, because like just to put things like so I got Dirk to watch this. When would you say, like 4 or 5 months ago, maybe?
Was it? I thought it was like a year ago. But
maybe.
Yeah.
And like, well, you can say yourself, you didn't really like it, did you, at first?
Yeah, the first time I watched this, I didn't like this fucking movie at all. I think I gave it a fucking, what'd I do? Give it a 2 or something? I don't remember.
Something like that, yeah.
It was pretty low, but I wouldn't give it a 2 now. I'm gonna give it I'll just say I'll give it a 6. It's a 6 out of 10. And the reason is I think the first hour and a half is pretty good. Pretty damn good.
Okay. Yeah.
But the last 30 minutes kind of fucks it up for me. I don't know. I don't want to just. We're going to go through the film a little bit. We're not going to.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of two. It's almost like two films in
Yeah,
one.
it's like
Um,
yes, yeah. I would even say almost three, like because there's like three different shades of
yeah,
characters playing. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but I'll give you like a brief synopsis. So, Detective Anna Manny is instructed by her superior, Inspector Manetti, to go to Florence and speak with the locals to find out what they know about this. There's a serial rapist going around, and he's a murderer, Alfredo Grossi. Uh, Anna gets a call, a tip to go to the Uffizi Museum, and then the tip is that the suspect's there, the serial killer, rapist dude. So she goes there, and then when she's going around the museum, she sees like all these masterful works of art and like these mind blowing pieces of history and shit. And it's like all around her. Like in the city of Florence, it's like a living museum anyway. But when she goes into that Uffizi museum, she fucking starts tripping out and like getting dizzy. Uh, and it's called the Stendhal Syndrome, and it's an actual damn, it's an actual
Di- like
thing that happens
disease
to
or
tourists that
yeah,
go to Florence, but it don't just happen there. It happens all over the world. But there's been in Florence, there's been 13,000 cases
wow,
documented cases of this shit where people get overwhelmed, and it varies from person to person depending on their past, depending on what they're going through in their life. When they look at these great works of art, like they see something registers in them and triggers some shit in them. It's pretty damn crazy. I'd never even heard of this damn shit.
I
Uh,
think it's an amazing like subject to
that's a
for a
great
film.
premise, though. Like
Yeah,
and then on top of then she faints, and so the serial rapist killer dude is there, Alfredo, and he kind of uses it against her. Uh, so he kind of like befriends her a little bit, and then I guess he helps her to her room. You know, uh,
yeah. He pays for the taxi, and
pays
he
for the
comes across
cab.
as this really nice guy.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but we don't know how and why she's there at this point. And I think when we do find out, it's really cool the way they do it. Um, but
yeah,
the opening scenes, like you say, with the paintings, are just amazing because they were actually in that gallery to do that. I think Dario said
yeah,
they shot because when we see the people in the gallery with her, they were all like crew members and stuff. But
right.
they actually had the whole
To
gallery to
themselves. Yeah,
themselves.
yep,
And he said they shot at night some of it, and where they had to light some of the paintings, all the rest of the room was dark. And he said it was just like being in a graveyard with these paintings because
yeah.
they're
It
kind
fucked
of
with
like
him.
ghosts.
Yeah, it fucked with
Yeah,
Argento himself, like himself. But and then even speaking on that, so this shit happened to Argento too. Uh, he had
yeah,
the Stendhal syndrome when he was a boy. He took a trip with his parents. They went to Athens,
yeah,
and I think it's called the Parthenon. Is that what it
yeah,
is?
yeah, yeah,
So he went to the Parthenon, and he's going up the steps, and he was starting to feel a little woozy then. But when he got up to the top, and then he looked to the right, he seen the Coliseum, the theater. Uh, damn, I got it down here. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah. I think you said it right.
So
Colosseum.
he's seen that, and he started thinking about all the history. This is at Greek in Athens, right? So he's thinking
Yeah,
about all the art, all the writers, and then he just felt ill and sick as shit. And his parents blamed it on the food that they ate and shit. And he was like, nah, he knew it was something else. There was something else to that shit, but he never knew what. But
and this was back in the 1940s as well when he was really
yeah,
young.
yeah,
So I think Asia even mentioned like when she was younger as well that she had like it happened to her as well. Like
right.
it may have just been like another one-off incident. But I think she visited a museum when she was younger as well. Because I thought that's strange that it happened between the two, father and daughter at different occasions. But
Yeah.
yeah, such an amazing. Like, if you actually read up on that, the Stendhal syndrome is fascinating.
It is, man. And the reason it's called that is because the guy, I think his name was Marie Stendhal, and he's the first man to write about it. He described how he felt and why he felt this way, and so they ended up calling it the Stendhal syndrome. And he wrote about it in the 1800s, late 1800s, I believe.
Yeah.
But it happens a lot in Florence, Italy, and it usually happens um, to tourists. So people that live in Florence are just used to all the shit all around them, like. But it's European tourists is number one that it happens to, and then American tourists is number two that it happens to. But
you can see that, like, the way it's shot as well. You can see how that could have an effect on you. It could make you dizzy because she's hearing all the noises, in the background of these cats, like in this painting.
She's going into the artwork like it's real, like it's something triggering, like hallucinating. It's pretty wild, actually.
I don't want to jump the gun, right? But I'll say it while I can remember it in my mind.
Yeah.
But did you read or see, the interview with I think it was Franco Ferrini that says about the extra scene at the end? Or it might have been the other writer. And he said he wanted to add on a scene at the end, which would have made the amazing.
Yeah. I did.
Yeah, that would have, like, without, I'm not going to give anything away, but she would have ended up walking into this painting that she was doing herself. I mean, how good would that have been? I think that would have even put it higher.
Yeah.
I can't believe why Argento didn't. No, I don't get that. Why he didn't see that as. That would have been amazing, honestly.
That must have just, like, I don't know, man. I don't know why he didn't use that, because that would have been killer. Because
the only thing. The only thing I can think of is, like, Dario likes to take a lot of credit himself, and maybe because that wasn't his idea, that he kind of didn't do it. But looking back on it, it's crazy how they didn't include that. Absolutely crazy, man. But the one, like you're saying as well, the one, like, shot I like about this as well, is she goes from a hotel room back to Rome just by walking through this fucking.
Yeah, it goes through a damn painting, right?
And it's done so well. And at the time, you're thinking, shit, like, because you're not taking it in what's happening. That's why I said to you, maybe watch it 2 or 3 times to get to get it fully. But the way this guy, the killer played by Thomas Kretschmann, I think is fantastic as well.
Yeah, he does an amazing job. He's a German actor. He's worked with Aja on another film, Queen Margot, I think.
Which I've never seen, but
I haven't either. Yeah,
but the way he's. Go on, sorry, Dirk. Go on.
I was just saying, he's really good. He's really, like, cringy, like, just this. Damn, he's sweaty. He's just damn. He plays that role really damn good. I'll say.
Oh God, absolutely. Do you know the scene as well where
razor blade? He's flipping a razor blade in his mouth while he's on top, and he's a serial rapist / killer, and when he pulls that razor blade out and he's got a cut her lip, and I don't know, man,
it's fantastic because he's playing a game with her. Like, he doesn't kill her when he should,
right?
But the scene I was going to say as well, because we have got a little bit of CGI in this film that people don't like. I didn't particularly like myself.
I don't either.
When he's in the car with that girl, and I think Aja's in the back, and he shoots her through the mouth, and then he looks through the hole with his eye. Do you know when he gets out the car, and he obviously lets Aja go because he's fucking with her. He's playing a game.
Yeah.
He kind of give me a Buffalo Bill vibe. The way he fucking stands there. from Silence of the Lambs. He kind of gives me that vibe, and I'm thinking that was like 5 years before.
Yeah,
so I'm
maybe.
sure Dario had a little bit of that, in
Maybe.
that character.
I didn't. I mean, I'll have to go check it out again. I didn't get that vibe from it, but this is my, I've seen it 3 times now, and
Yeah,
now the thing with the CGI thing,
right.
like her taking the pills, like there's a scene where she takes the pills and you see the pills going down her throat, and that CGI looks like shit.
Yeah, it
I
does.
just don't see the point of it. Like, what was the point of that shit? Like, it's stupid. But
And this was the first Italian film to use CGI as well,
right.
but it's
And you
done
know
in
who
such
it is,
a fucking
right?
horrible way. Go on,
You know who did it, right?
refresh me.
Stivoletti.
Yeah, Stendhal. Sorry, yeah.
Same as wax mask guy. It's like, dude, like, cut that shit out. Go on with that shit. Like, how can
I'm
you look
surprised
at
that they
and say,
haven't.
"Oh yeah, that looks great"? Like
Exactly. Why? I'm surprised they haven't done a recut of the film without those scenes, because it's easy to do now.
It
Well,
hurts the film.
anyone could do it.
It
Yeah,
hurts the
it
film. It
does. It
turned
really
me
does.
off. Like when I first watched it. When I first seen it, it kind of took me out of the film. Like I was like, "What the fuck, man?"
No, that's a fair point to make. Actually, yeah, I can totally see that. So yeah, I don't know why they don't do 2 versions and just cut that shit out.
You had a certain tone going. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it just took me out of it. It's like I'm
it
watching
does.
a fucking
It really
cartoon or
does.
something. Like, I don't know, or video game, I should say.
But this guy, he's like one of the worst motherfucking serial killers you'll ever see.
He is, man. And I don't. Hold on. There's another thing. That's another thing that I had a problem with though. So when he shoots the woman in the mouth,
yeah,
and it goes through, that's some bad CGI too. But the practical looks good when the way they did.
Oh
that.
yeah.
But the bullet itself going through her mouth looks like shit. And then the other thing though, how did that kill her? How the fuck did that kill her? If it went through both her cheeks, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't understand that one. Did he kill her like from strangling her? But it didn't show him strangle her after he shot her, and she's still alive. That was another problem I had with the movie. But
no, yeah. Again, I'd say it's an Argento film, and you've got to take a lot of it, like pardon the pun, but tongue in cheek sort of thing. But
tongue in cheek, yeah.
I really like the way the film goes from there, because she basically then, she's worked out now. She's had amnesia and all this. She doesn't know who she is. And then she goes back into a old kind of police role of trying, because he's obviously raped her and all that.
What's
but
going on?
He lets her go. I hate Spicy.
Yeah, from Spicy 4K Action. What's going on, man? Glad you're here.
Yeah, what's up, man? But yeah, like I say, so I like the way it goes. She goes back home then with her father and her brothers. And I mean, I've said it before on other streams, but she cuts her hair short. And for me, I think she looks fucking amazing. I think that's the best Aja we'll ever see. Personally, looks wise. She looks gorgeous with that hair, like that short hair. I think.
I don't like that look, man. When she's dressed she's like looking like a dude,
Oh yeah, I don't like the actual looking like a man type thing. But I mean, just her hair, I think alone is she looks amazing. Okay.
I got you. But then she goes, she's kind of turning into him, right?
Yeah, she kind of gets off cutting herself as well when she's on the train and we don't know what's happening at that point. We just think because like the rapes and all that it's just kind of giving her another. Like basically fucking with her. But I like all the shit that's to come as well. The kind of cat and mouse game between the two of them.
And she's, that fucking wig, dude. That brown wig she's wearing is fucking awful. I gotta bring that up, but it's fucking horrendous, and it looks like shit. And she said, she said that this was the one film that she suffered the most making, and
Right.
the wig was actually glued strands of hair. So she said in Florence it was kind of hot, and the fucking glue was melting and shit. So
Right. Yeah.
fucking nasty, man. And then that scene where she goes underwater, she
Yeah.
got kissing that fish. That was a real dead fish. Uh,
Right.
so, and she said like Argento's like screaming at her, like trying to get the shot right, But she's talking about the water was freezing,
She
and
said she
they
couldn't breathe as well at some point
right,
doing that
and
scene.
and he had this. She's like, why can't we just do this in a pool or something? And he's like, I need to see the ocean bed, like I need to see the bed of the ocean, But
Yeah. Typical Dario though, with every detail got to be perfect. Right.
but I mean, there's some really good shit in this movie. It really is.
I think so. I think the whole like we just said, the whole Stendhal Syndrome part with the paintings, I think is fantastic.
It's a pretty damn interesting thing I've never heard of, man. Like the Stendhal syndrome. Like I had no idea that people, you know, just start tripping out and fucking like people were having panic attacks. People were like hallucinating, fucking bad shit, man.
I can see it though. The way he actually films the scenes with the noise, I can see people getting dizzy to that. Like
Yeah,
I honestly can, because obviously you're looking into a painting and it just takes you to that scene. But some people's imagination's stronger than others, and that I would
especially
imagine
like,
that's got a lot to do with it.
and then I imagine some people that are real strongly religious, like the
Yeah,
paintings
yeah,
of with Christ. It's
right,
like the torment of Christ or something. A lot of
yeah,
people that's happened to, it just, I think it depends on your background, what you're looking at. You know what I mean? I think,
absolutely, yeah, yeah.
but it's pretty damn interesting though. I gotta say.
Um, but we've kind of got like a situation because you've got this one guy who she used to be in a relationship with. Um, and there's a weird scene, I think you'll agree, where she kind of tries to fuck him, and it's like,
But let's back up a little bit. So after watching this, I recently just watched it twice. So I'm thinking to myself, like all the men around her are kind of like dismissing what's happened to her in a way, you know?
yeah, yeah,
Like he just wants to fuck her in a way.
right, yeah.
And it's like, dude, she just had all this horrible shit happen to her. Like,
Just
what the
been
fuck?
multiple raped on
I
like.
thought that was odd too. Like, what the fuck are you thinking about,
I
dude?
get
Like,
I do get it with the Margot character because she's kind of obviously through what's happened, she's distanced towards him. So I
yeah,
can understand why he would want to do that with her, just to get that intimacy kind of back.
right.
Um, but that completely backfires in that scene because she goes to like rape this one of the
Yeah, she
strangest
like
people.
wants to bang him or something. Like,
Yeah, she
it's
like
fucking weird. It's a weird ass scene.
it really is as well, and like takes you aback a bit when you watch it because you think it just
It's like she
comes out of
wants to be the
nowhere.
dominator. She wants to dominate him.
Right?
And
Yeah.
she's like got him from behind and shit. And I was like, what the fuck? This shit took a heavy turn, man. Like,
It really does, yeah. It really does.
he's
And I
like, what
think
the fuck, man? He's like, get the fuck off me, kind of shit. And she's, he don't want it like that. So,
yeah. It's like this is one of her favorite films she ever shot with Dario as well.
yeah,
I think this is the best performance by a mile in anything I've ever seen
I
from her.
would say certain parts are really damn good, but there's certain parts I don't. There's a
That's
couple.
yeah. You mentioned that when we first,
Yeah,
was talking about this.
it's when we get to the where she wears the blonde wig. Uh,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I don't think that shit works
You
really
don't
that
think
good.
she's convincing him what's to come then after that kind of thing?
No, like when she's particularly got that blonde wig on, and
Yeah,
but then it's weird because there's one scene where I can't. We're not spoiling the movie, so I can't say. But it does the noir thing where the lighting's on the eyes, and that's what they're going for. They're going for, the throwback noir blonde, the femme fatale blonde.
With the Alfredo character as well is kind of
and he's
like,
blonde.
so we're not gonna spoil, like, we can spoil certain parts. We're gonna spoil certain parts of this. We won't spoil the ending or anything like that. But I think it's safe to say, I'm hoping it's safe to say that we come to an end. We come to a point where an end, of this serial killer action, and the way it's done is amazing as well. That fucking scene by the river, I think is superb. We won't delve too deep into it because we don't want to, give too much away. And then the film kind of completely turns on a head. Like
it does.
Completely turns into a different film.
Completely changes the rape revenge genre. It's like they don't change the whole genre. I don't mean it like that. I mean it kind of separates itself from the rape revenge genre.
Because you're watching it and you're thinking, well, I don't know about you, but every time I watch a film, I always look at the running time first. So I'm kind of I'm watching the film. It kind of comes to an end with all the Alfredo business.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at, and you're thinking, shit, there's another half hour to go.
Right.
So, but I actually like what's to come. I know Dirk doesn't because he just said.
I wish that they would have ended it like at a certain point, like the hour and a half mark. And
there's a good, you've got a good point there as well. I can't argue with that at all.
I think it would have been a stronger film.
Right. Yeah.
Even do everything you did in the last 30 minutes, just shorten the time. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of feel like it drags out a little.
No, I get that a lot as well. Yeah. I like it for what it is. I do like the aspect that's to come, but I can't argue with that. I think a lot of people would say if we'd have made it like a nice trim 90 minutes and not had this extra action that we're going to talk a little bit about, it would have been better. And I can't argue with that. So,
but I just wish that they would have, because he had the most, and from what I understand is, so Argento got the most money for this film.
Right, yeah. This was one of his most successful films.
So why in the fuck do you got these pieces of shit wigs? Like that fucking I don't know why it bothers me so much, but those wigs look like shit, man. Like,
I think
the brown
you're right.
and the blonde one.
You're right with the first one, the brown one. I think the second one's supposed to look a bit stupid because she's kind of covering a scarf on her face as well.
Yeah.
And I think she's put the blonde one on. Because again, this would be interesting to see what you think with the whole kind of, is she possessed or is she just, or did the fact of what's happened to her basically just change her whole personality?
Because there's a lot of mirrors in this one. There's mirrors and reflections and like that scene we were just talking about where the killer's looking at her through a victim after he just victimized her.
Right.
And then she wakes up and she's got to sit there and see him doing it again. She's seeing him do it to somebody else, what he just did to her. That's some fucked up shit. I was like, God damn,
I mean, this I would put like along the lines of Maniac or Christmas Evil in the fact that it's a demise of a fucking mental type. It's a character study as well, I think, and it really does.
You do have to watch this film more than once, definitely.
Oh, I would say 2, 3, 4 times even.
Because I've seen it 3 times now, and I understand it a lot more. I still think the run time's a little long. It could be better, but
you've seen it 3 times now. But would it be safe to say, are you at a point where you can't wait to see it again, or you really like sort of warmed up?
Yeah, I mean, I think about it. It's been on my mind.
Like, there you go.
Especially the Stendahl Syndrome shit. Like, that's interesting as hell. Like,
that's why I thought you loved this film, because I know you. I know you like ambiguous as well. I know, like,
because you can look at this another way.
Yeah,
you can look at it surface level, or you can look at it like, you know,
You can go deep.
you don't know what to believe because of
Yeah.
the Stendahl syndrome. So let me catch the chat right quick. You got Gizmo in here. What's going on? He said,
Gizmo.
He says, I don't believe I know why Dario is not in everyone's top 10 list of fun directors.
Yeah, I think you mean. I don't believe I know why Dario is not in everyone's top 10 list of fun directors. Yeah, I think he's basically meaning like the subject matters to his films and stuff not being fun.
Yeah, I mean,
because this is his weirdest, fucking most gruesome film, I think, in terms of the rape. I think this is his most brutal sort of gruesome film in terms of the rape and the subject matter. Yeah. It doesn't get much stronger than this.
Right. What do you think is most, since Gizmo brought that up though, what do you think is which one do you think is his funnest movie?
So
for me it's gotta be Phenomena.
Go on. Yeah, I can't.
Phenomena I think is his funnest. I think he's playing around shit.
Right. Yeah, I would say something like Giallo, just because it's not meant to be fucking funny, but it is. So kind of tongue in cheek, I would say that. But he doesn't really do like fun films, does he?
But Phenomena is though with that monkey.
It is, yeah.
I mean, come on, that shit's.
That film's great. I can't wait till we cover that as well. That film's great. Just batshit. That is a fucking what the fuck film if ever there was.
It goes so many directions, man. It's crazy. But
that's going up. That's going up and up in my list of Argento films.
Spicy says, literally just watched Suspiria for the first time a few days ago. What a trip! Wow. Enjoyed that a lot. Hell yeah! I wish I could. I wish that was my first time just seeing Suspiria, because I remember my first time seeing it. I was like, blowed the fuck out. I was blown away. Like,
oh, it's an amazing film. But Spicy, I'd like to so hopefully now you'll go on and watch some of these Spicy. But if you've not seen Phenomena, Tenebrae, Bird with a Crystal Plumage, I would definitely make them your next kind of thing after Suspiria. Although you could go logically and go Inferno, couldn't you? Really, in Mother of Tears, but
yeah, I would say maybe go opera before I went Bird. If you're not used to the genre, you know what I mean. Like, a lot of people that aren't used to the Jolly, they don't care for Bird.
I did that was one mind. I got to be honest with you. I first watched Bird with Crystal Plumage. I thought it was a decent film. No, nothing more, nothing less. And I went back to it, 2, 3, 4 times, and then it just fucking clicked. Yeah. Everything clicked in that film for me, and now I put it right up there in this top, say 5 or 6. But it's interesting you mentioned opera, because that for me is slowly creeping towards fucking Suspiria.
Opera's fucking a masterpiece, man.
I actually think it's I don't think it's his best film. Obviously, Suspiria is his best film.
Yeah.
But I think opera is becoming my favorite film, possibly one of my favorite top 5 films of all time. I mean, I love that film. I can go back at any time and watch it.
Let's see. Okay, everybody's just saying hey and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, everybody's just saying hey. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I thought we're gonna basically talk about the kind of closing part of this film, and we won't give it away.
What do you think about this though? Now, now, I found this out by doing this. So, Kim Basinger was supposed to play Dario Argento's part, Anna.
Right, that's where I got mixed up then, because I said Trauma, didn't I? But yeah, now you see that.
Yeah, no, right. You said Daryl Hannah.
Kim
Basinger.
Right, yeah. I've heard that as well.
What do you think? Do you think this would have been a stronger film with Kim Basinger?
Because no, I don't think it would have been a stronger film. I'll tell you why. Because it was basically going to be another one shot in America, but they completely changed it and went back,
Yeah.
to Italy. And for me, like I say, I think this is Aja's best film. So I don't see how you can.
I'm just
For me
curious
personally,
how
I don't see how you could get a better actress, but I know you feel differently.
Yeah, I just wonder how it would have played with Kim Basinger though, playing that
I
part.
mean, she would have been coming off 9.5 weeks and stuff like that. So I don't know whether it would have worked. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah, she's
personally, I
a
don't
great
think.
actress back in the day. Back then though.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'm glad they didn't go that route. I'm glad they kept her in Italy as well, because it makes more sense the Stendhal Syndrome being set in Italy, with like you said, the museums and all that.
Yeah, you mentioned Farini, right? Franco.
Yeah, yeah.
About the jail. Well, I can't really mention that. I almost messed up. Then I
No,
like,
no, you can. Yeah, but it's like.
about the. I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to say nothing else. But about the
Well,
painting.
I suppose like basically you can say there's a certain character that in the end of this film we're not going to say who it is, who ends up in prison. I think that's you can say that. And this character would have been painting a picture, and then the last shot of the film, this character walks into this painting of this picture, because it kind of gets her. Oh shit! Maybe I'll give it away there. It kind of gets this
Yeah.
character.
That's what I'm saying. Let's not.
No, but the reason for it though is basically being locked up in a prison. You can't get out, obviously.
Right.
So this is one form of this person getting out, which I think would have made it great.
Yeah,
Because you could have even gone on another part too. Right. If you think about it, if that person could get out in the mind.
But even though still, or is all this shit in the mind? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can look at this shit so many ways. It's kind of crazy.
I think you can look at the last half hour. Maybe you're right in the last half hour. I think the whole up to the point with Alfredo, I think that's all real.
But there's a certain scene that makes me question: is he real? And
okay.
I showed it in the intro, but
right.
I'm not going to say it here. But like, I'll talk. We'll talk about it later. Like, but.
Because all his films have got that dream quality anyway. So
yeah,
you could definitely read into this 2, 3, 4 different sort of ways to go about it. I do think it plays fair, and I do think what happens.
But I did see where Farini was saying that after opera, like that his films just kept descending. Did you see that?
Yeah. I personally, I'm not sure.
It's never going to be the level of opera,
right?
To me, I do agree with that to an extent, but I don't think that you should just dismiss them. So
I was thinking about that as well, and every director, right? John Carpenter's, the George Romero's, they've all got bad films, right?
Right.
I don't think Dario's drop off. Yes, from say,
we can't say every director now. Like let's talk about Kubrick. We're not going to talk about Kubrick.
Well, yeah, I know.
I don't think any of his shit was bad. I think he got better as he went on.
Arguably with Argento, arguably too, like Mother of Tears, which I like, so I wouldn't include that. But after that, people say it's a major drop off, which I can't argue. It is. It's a major drop. But his films from after Phantom of the Stendhal, Trauma. I'm dismissing Two Evil Eyes because we mentioned that earlier. I don't think either of us like it.
I don't think
it's that much of a drop off. I really don't. I don't think Trauma is that much of a drop off from opera, and I love opera. So, and then the final film we're going to mention in a bit as well. I don't see that as a major drop off either. I think,
but I see it. I actually see the next one we're going to mention more of his greatest hits.
Yeah, yeah.
than
I
these other
totally
two.
agree with you.
Yeah, than
Yeah,
the other two, because I can see so many damn different type of shots. You know what I mean? In Sleepless, but um,
that's even more of a greatest hits, and like you said with his others.
yeah,
And I think he does. He knew that certainly he knew it like Trauma. I think that you've got to keep the fans happy. They want the Giallo film and all that. That's why you expect like
right.
this is an experimental film. That
Yeah,
this was kind of he did not know how this was going to be taken at all. Because
yeah,
what you
damn
can't
good.
would you call it a Giallo? It's got Giallo
Uh,
elements. I don't know whether it would. It's not a fully fledged Giallo, I don't think.
no, it's not. No,
But it's got the elements of that. It's got
I'd
the
say it's
elements of
more
a
rape
slasher.
revenge.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
more of a rape revenge type film.
Maybe a rape revenge with Giallo elements,
Right.
slasher elements, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's a fully fledged Giallo. I'll put it in my Giallo collection.
Spicy says, I have and seen crystal plumage, cat eyes, and deep red cat eyes. I think he means cat of nine tails. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Suspiria would be the fourth Argento film I've seen now. Guessing Phenomena or Opera is next. Out of those two, man, shit. If you want a more fun film, I'd say Phenomena. If you want a more damn son of a bitch, like that's hardcore, I'd say Opera.
Right.
But
I would
you can't
say
go wrong with either. No.
I would say fucking make a night of it and just do the two in that order, but on an opera.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be like 4 hours of fucking the best time you've had, I think, for a long time.
Right.
Those two play so well together, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, just make a night of it and do the two. That would be what I would recommend.
But Argento got the idea of for this film because he was in New York, and he was reading the papers while he was working on Trauma, and he said it was similar to what Freud described as art enchantment. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
But so he found a Magarini, right? That's her name.
Yeah.
She had wrote a book about it, and she's the one that was in Florence. That she was like the head of the mental health, and she had a couple of titles, and she was the one doing the studies on these people that were coming in, these tourists. And so he read the book, and then like he just went down a rabbit hole. He started traveling Europe. Argento did. He traveled all over Europe. He went to Germany and looked at the Rembrandt paintings and like started looking at all this. Like he's just fascinated by this shit. I thought that was pretty damn interesting.
Yeah, he went all in with his research for this film, and it's evident as well. It's evident as well that it does. He leaves no kind of stone unturned either. It's all I think it's logical. I really do, even though some people wouldn't.
Yeah, so she treated many who came in having problems with interacting with immaculate paintings, statues, museums, and architecture from the Italian Renaissance era. But anyway, I don't want to bore everybody to death. I'm fascinated by the shit, but I'm not gonna bore y'all to death with all that.
I do want to mention the score, like briefly as well. That score from Ennio Morricone.
And you're gonna mention. I'm sure you're gonna mention. Yeah, go ahead. My bad.
No, carry on. Go on.
No, how the score is though. It's exactly.
Oh, when it's played backwards, it's exactly the same.
If you play it backwards, it's exactly the same as it's when it's played forward. I think that's fucking amazing.
That blew my mind when I read that, and then I saw that in an interview. I was like, shit. But he wanted kind of a low key score. I think it works perfectly. Because I said to you when you first watched it, I said, you might not think so at the moment, but that score is going to become kind of fucking grows on you, man, over time. and it's
Right.
so perfect for this film. It really is. It's just, it's haunting.
And it's so simple. It's a
Yeah,
simple, it's a simple little melody. So I found out more about that. So he took that piece of music from the 1600s in Spain,
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
from a from a an old piece of music from Spain. Uh, he just kind of made his own thing out of it. But
I mean, that's great. That,
and that
I
fits
think
perfect
that's
with this film because all these pieces of art are, I mean, it's history. It's like, so people that don't appreciate art uh, aren't never gonna get it. But like, to think that somebody that did a piece of art, painting, or a great song, or a statue, or whatever, they're forever eternalized through that piece of art. You know what I mean?
that's
Their
right. Yeah,
name, they left their mark, and that's just pretty damn. That's pretty damn amazing in its own damn right. You know. So
it's kind of like, in a way, like a time machine as well. The way they, you
yeah,
can walk back into a painting. I think
right,
that would have been a cool film if he took the idea a little step forward, and maybe had a character that could go back into these paintings, into these scenes of paintings, and reenact, scenes from films, and or make a new, plot of a film from it. I think
right.
that could have been a really good idea. I've never seen that done before. I know you do have the go back in time type plots, don't you? But
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
that would
there's
have
some
been
time
interesting.
machine movies, but like Bandits is coming to mind. Like
I think you've said that Jack the Ripper's one as well.
Jack the Ripper, yeah, Time After Time.
That's right. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
actually like, I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I used to watch it all the time. Uh,
I need to watch that one. Yeah.
but uh, yeah, shit. Let's see. Yeah, I just have a bunch of information that probably bore the shit out of people. So
I've done a lot of writing for this one as well. But like you said, I don't want to like overdo it too much. But
yeah, but basically that lady, that the Margarini, is that her name?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
She said that she treated so many people, and she, they were all healthy. That was the main thing. So they were all healthy when they came to Florence. There was nothing wrong with them. And there was one lady, she visited 3 churches, and she she realized after going through the churches that she's like, I don't have the money for this trip. And she started, it made her, the shit was making her feel guilty. And so that's what I was saying. Like, and she
right,
lost her mind. This is a real story. She lost her mind, and she's like, my husband and kids don't know where I'm at. And so she lost her damn mind and had the Stendhal syndrome hit her. And she went to the train station and was like, uh, she didn't know what to do. She didn't know who she was. That's another thing.
yeah,
Like, people don't
amnesia.
know who they are. They lose their identity. That's crazy to think. That's scary. That's like almost like Alzheimer's, but these are like
Yeah,
young people, or people in their 40s, or you know what I mean?
because it's mentioned again as well. I think it might be mentioned in the film, but having the Stendhal syndrome as well puts you basically got like a different, like, you break into a different personality as well, and that's why I think the last half hour works for me, because
Yeah,
it's not just the fact that you can walk back into paintings and all that.
yeah.
It does change your personality, and I think that's utilized brilliantly.
And I
Um,
think that's what happens. Like, she loses her identity.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's exactly what I think happens during that last part of the film.
Right.
Um, but for me, this is a high 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for those little bits of CGI and the odd thing here and there, this would be a 10 for me. But I mean, and I don't say that lightly.
I think that was horrible that Argento would let that happen, though. that he would allow that to be in, oh yeah, that looks great. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know if you've seen the interview, but it might have been on the Blu-ray. But he actually says he still thinks it looks good.
I know.
And I was like,
that
shit.
boggles my mind to know how much visual style he has, but then he thinks that looks good. I don't know.
I can see him thinking maybe at the time it might have looked okay at the time,
but it looks like a video game.
It does, yeah. It kind of does take you out as well. That's the only real kind of gripe I've got with the film. It's not too like a lot of people say as well because she's so young to be a detective, like a high-ranked detective as she is. But I mean, that's
something I didn't mention. Now that's something I didn't mention. Her, the way she's holding the gun and handling the gun.
Yeah,
I don't believe that shit at all. I don't believe.
I mean, maybe
it's nitpicking, but I mean, I shoot guns and shit. You know what I mean? So it's like she's holding this 9mm, like, I don't know. It's just fucking weird.
I mean, you are talking a Dario Argento film, so you can't take too much logic into it, really.
Right.
But
I got you. That kind of
can see why.
Too,
I can see why people were bothered by the fact that, like, she's too young to be what she is, basically, the detective she is. I can see that, but I mean, you've gotta like, override that sometimes.
Yeah, that's maybe a little nitpicking, but like I said, for her to be, with a rape unit, she's supposed to know how to handle a gun. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But whatever, it is what it is.
Did you notice as well the one the lady from the Beyond is in the film as well, Cynthia Monreal? The woman with the dog in the Beyond. Yeah, she plays. Was she Argento? Major Argento's character goes to see her. She plays the wife of the killer.
Oh shit, that was her. Damn, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, she hasn't changed a lot, mind. Right. But yeah, I had to look twice, and I thought, shit, and then I looked it up, and it was.
Oh damn.
She's like a beautiful woman even now. Apparently, I've seen her quite recently, and she's aged really well. But I think that was a good nod to Fulci as well.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. If you don't mind, I gotta take a small break for a minute. I can.
No, that's all right.
I can play something though, right quick.
Yeah, go on. We'll both take a toilet break, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna be right back. Hopefully, don't lose y'all, but we'll be right back. Well,
Hey.
most everybody hung with us.
Good.
Yeah, man. I appreciate everybody in the chat, man, and hanging out, and you know,
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Thanks a lot, and hit that like button and
yeah,
subscribe.
hit the subs and the bells, and if you know, you don't have to, but you know, it'd be nice.
It does.
if
It does
if
help.
you like what we're doing, anyway. But uh, but anyway, yeah, man. So, was there anything else about Stendhal you want to mention?
Not really. No, just obviously, if people haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. But give it at least 2 or 3 watches before you make a proper opinion on it.
Yeah, because I kind of jumped the gun on it, but then I always try to keep that rule, like at least give a film two chances, 2 watches. You know.
I think even more so with that, like maybe 3 or 4 watches for some people.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I mean, once
don't dismiss it.
Yeah, once you find out the kind of some of the what the Stendhal syndrome is, it kind of changes things about the film. Like,
Yeah.
it did for me anyway. Because at first I was like,
Yeah.
what in the fuck? And then like the way it played out and shit, and I don't know. I don't want to spoil the film though. So
No. But all I gotta say is it's such a unique film. Like, it's not going to be for everyone, but like I say, give it a couple of watches at least. I think most sort of horror fans will get something out of it.
Right? Did you know that?
So our next film is Phantom of the Opera, right?
Oh, I'm
only joking.
Yeah, I think we skipped Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. What was you going to say? Sorry.
Did you know that Sergio Leone gave Argento his first chance, his first shot?
Yeah, with the Western, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in the West.
Yeah.
Argento co-wrote it with Bernardo Bertolucci.
Yeah.
I thought that was That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he kind of actually calls one character, doesn't he, in this film, Leone, and they all think it might be a little bit of a nod to him.
Right.
But after the debacle that was Phantom of the Opera, which completely bombed everywhere.
Yeah, big old shit stank.
Oh man, I went back.
That idea was just so fucking like
it's fucking horrible film. Like, because you watched it about a month ago, didn't you? You went back to it.
Yeah. What's that guy that died recently? I like him as an actor. He played
Julian
in
Sands.
The Warlock movies. What's his name?
Julian Sands.
Yeah, Julian Sands. But in this, it's just too
horrible.
over the top. You got Stivalletti doing some weird shit too. I don't know, man. I'm just more and more I think about it.
It's horrible, man. You got a horrible shit with the rats that just look terrible.
Sex with rats and shit. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
I will say though, like, as Asia Argento was by far the best thing in our film. I think she makes it, even though it really isn't watchable. But I mean, if you do manage, because it's like 2 hours as well. But she will keep your interest. I think if you're an Asia Argento fan.
There's a couple of good shots. There's a shot with the chandelier and shit that I really like. But other than that, I don't know.
I think like on the commentary track, I think for Sleepless actually, Troy Howarth, I think, likes fucking Phantom of the Opera, which I was surprised.
Really?
Or he certainly says, yeah, I think him and like Nathaniel Thompson, who do the commentary track, actually said they kind of enjoy Phantom of the Opera, which they're the only 2 people I've heard of that actually like that film.
I've heard other people say it too, but they don't count. So whatever. I mean, it's whatever you like, man, I guess, at the end of the day.
Yeah, I wish I could.
But I'm sure as hell not going to be like, oh, you've never seen an Argento movie. Well, go watch Phantom of the Opera. That's never going to happen. So,
no, not at all.
I'm going to turn somebody against the whole damn genre. The whole Italian cinema.
Yeah, You'd never recommend that.
No, hell no. But yeah, man, we're gonna talk about Sleepless, and not the one with not Sleepless in Seattle. This is
This is the fucking return to form
yeah,
for the
yeah. I like
Maestro.
that cover art. That's killer.
Yeah, this is old Arrow release. I have got the one that you've got there as well.
Yeah,
But this is a complete return to form, I think.
yeah. This is a really good scan too, man. By Scorpion Films
Oh,
did
it
this,
looks great. Yeah,
and
yeah, it looks absolutely
some
fantastic.
decent features on here. You know,
Yeah, I did actually watch the commentary track with this one. But yeah, you're gonna start this one. I've got a synopsis you want to say? Or...
you got one?
I've got
You
like
want me
3
to?
lines, but yeah, if you got something better, then go for it.
Okay, I just got in my own words kind of deal like I usually do. An old retired detective and the son of a murder victim team up to find a serial killer who started again after 17 years in Turin, Italy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that works well.
And Max von Sydow is the guy the old detective that's retired. He's coming out of retirement because these killings are happening again, and there's a little boy. He witnessed his mother get murdered in front of him, and so Max von Sydow, his character's Ulysses Moretti, and he promises him if it takes him the rest of his life, he's going to catch the kill. So it's kind of like how and so they meet up again, and he reminds him of that, but he's forgotten so many things because he's up in age, and this is a trope of Argento as well, the whole memory trope thing,
It is,
right?
yeah,
But
absolutely, yeah.
it's like playing that's just one of them though. Like I said, this is like a greatest hits Argento, but I would say that you could arguably say if somebody's never seen an Argento, this is a 2001 movie.
Yeah,
you could turn them onto this first.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think any kind of horror. See, you're a slasher fan and you like
Yeah,
all the kind of My Bloody Valentine stuff like that.
the
I,
creepy
I would
shit.
I
Yeah,
would direct them to this as well because it plays out as a slasher. And
right.
again, this is mean spirited as well. For
Very mean
Argento.
spirited. It starts out like we say, you got the volcano explosion right out the damn gate. Like,
Oh man, I don't think there's a. I don't. This rivals the opening to like Suspiria for me. I think the first 20 minutes of this film,
yeah,
I don't think you could do it any better than what he did. I really don't.
yeah.
Um,
I would still take Suspiria, but it's pretty damn good.
it's up there. Well, yeah, I maybe say that a little bit, tongue in cheek, but it's up there. It's maybe because what's better than the opening scene of Suspiria? Probably nothing. But
Right.
it's similar in a way where you got like this. So yeah, we might as well say it. We got this. We find out that this prostitute goes to see this kind of guy, and he seems a bit strange.
Yeah.
And she looks like a fucking man as well. I don't know if you noticed that. She looks very like the actress looks like a bloke. Did you notice that?
You think?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because it is mentioned online that people didn't know if it was a trans person
Oh, I
or
didn't catch
maybe
that. But maybe.
yeah. But that's by the by. But
Yeah.
basically, the killer ends up because she picks up this file by accident. After she visited him as a prostitute, and he stalks her on this train. And it, like we just mentioned, I think it's one of the best scenes ever in a Argento film.
Yeah.
It's similar to Suspiria in a way with the rain. You got the train station comes into play. But
I
when they're
definitely
actually on the train, it is
I definitely think
amazing.
that the train scene in Sleepless is better than any scene in Night Train Murders. I just got to get that out there.
Shit. Wait, I won't answer that, but I'll wait for Gizmo to come back to you on that one. But
Sorry,
yeah, I should have known that was coming. But no, the way it's done is like amazing. He basically stalks this prostitute because she got this blue file.
Yeah, well, let's back up a little because
yeah, go on,
yeah, because he just got through. You know, she's like, I won't do that. She's screaming at him. You don't know what the hell she's talking about, but she's like, I won't do that and all this shit. She's calling him a disgusting piece of shit, and then he just starts flashing. You don't see him. All you see is a shadow, and he's flashing a bunch of money, and then her whole fucking tune changes. And it's so
no, but that's because she was playing a role, mind, in that scene.
Oh, really?
So they were reenacting a role play. They were. That's why she gets like fucking mad and that. But then she becomes okay.
Oh, well, she said something about she was as crazy as he was and all this crazy shit.
Right? Yeah, that's just role play. That was.
Oh, really?
I did look into that.
I didn't catch that at all. I just thought she was like really fucking scared of the motherfucker.
No, because I thought that at first, like yourself.
She is scared of him though, like because he's fucking under the sheet. He's covered up under the fucking sheets, and he's sitting there saying some crazy ass shit about killing people and shit. And then her fucking brain clicks in. She's like, I get the fuck out of here.
Right. But did you notice with that scene, right, at first, the killer's voice is kind of like unrecognizable. But if you actually watch that scene again, when he's under the bedclothes, you can fucking tell who the killer is in this film just by the voice.
I kind of figured out the killer on my first watch.
Yeah. It is probably one of the easiest to work out.
Yeah.
Out of his films. But
not only that, I mean, I kind of even figured out something else too, because of another Argento movie. And if I say it, then I'm gonna fucking spoil it. But I'm not gonna say it.
Okay, yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I don't, but you can tell me off. You can tell me off camera and that if you want.
Yeah.
Or you can give a hint when it comes up if you want.
Right.
So basically, she reads this book, doesn't she? That the killer's been keeping this. Is it like Death Fan book? You know, she got this like kind of. It's almost like a novel, and I think it's done really well because. I don't want to jump the gun too much, but like there's nursery rhymes in this film. The killer's supposed to have made nursery rhymes, and he was also a writer of like Italian giallo thrillers. But the reason Asia Argento wasn't in this film is because she was pregnant at the time.
Yeah.
So Dario basically got her involved. She actually wrote all the nursery rhymes, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, she wrote the nursery rhymes. Yeah.
Yeah. Which cool, man. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, like I say, the stalking scene on the train is superb.
It's a creepy ass nursery rhyme. Did you write that down? I didn't write it down.
No, I didn't write it down. No,
I should have wrote it down, but it's a creepy ass. Like, who the hell? What kind of kid would be listening, reading that, like singing that shit? You know what I mean? Talking about slitting pigs' throats and shit, and fucking, you know what I
mean? Yeah. And I mean, like, without jumping the gun too much, like, we have a series of murders all related to these nursery rhymes.
Let me catch your chat right quick. I only got, let's see. Spicy says, Cat of Nine Tails, always get that name mixed up, but was my least favorite of those three. Suspiria was a whole other level for me. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Cat of Nine Tails either.
Cat of Nine Tails is more of a detective, strong, like it's more of that type of mystery. It's more mystery than it is.
It's bland as well. There's
more crime oriented, not as much like a giallo. I mean, it is a giallo, but it's hard to explain. It's just don't have the same appeal as the other visually fucking stunning Argento films.
Argento will tell you that as well. It's bland. It's not really that much visual flair to it.
I will say,
it's not boring, but it's not great. So go on, sorry.
I did learn though what Cat of Nine Tails meant recently. I think I mentioned it before. I don't know if I haven't mentioned it on here, but when we did Eurocult.
Right, yeah.
So the Cat of Nine Tails is like the 9 tails are 9 different leads, 9 different directions.
Yeah.
Of the case that they're trying to solve. But anyway, I'm not going to go on a tangent about it. But and then Texas says this song is hard to pop and lock to. I hear you. He's talking about the intro. The intro.
Oh man, the soundtrack to this, I think, because basically,
he's talking about the intro that I made.
Oh yeah, he's talking about the intro to our stream. But
right.
The soundtrack to this, they basically got Goblin to come back.
Yeah.
And at this point, all the members of Goblin hated each other.
Right.
And I mean, you couldn't put them in a room together because they just didn't get on. But they actually sort of got together just to make this score. And I think it's an incredible piece of music. I've always thought this. I don't get why this ain't the theme to this film isn't regarded highly up there with the likes of Suspiria. For me, I think so.
I dig it. But, I dig it a lot. I think I don't like it. I don't think I like it as much as Stendhal or Trauma.
Trauma.
Yeah.
Oh God, I think this is one of the best.
Maybe it beats. It probably beats Trauma. Now that I think about it, yeah, it probably beats Trauma. It don't beat Stendhal's score though. I don't think.
Yeah, it's hard because they're all great scores in themselves. But this one I find I play all the time. You know, if I want to put music on, this is like I just think it's an amazing piece of music. But it's not just that; you've got the whole score in the train as well, with the suspense type thing.
Yes, Spicy. Reed, he says the music in Suspiria was crazy. That was Goblin, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do the score. Yeah, like we were saying, when they do the score on Sleepless as well. So,
but yeah, basically they come back and done that score, which is great. And then go on. No, you go on.
Argento, he said he thought of the title from a sentence he read from the Son of Sam killer. A letter that the Son of Sam, sent to the police or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Is where he come up for the title for Sleepless. And it said, I'll always fight for my ideas because I'm sleepless. And Argento said the fact he never slept because he only wanted to kill. He just he thought that. I was like, damn, that's pretty fucking hardcore, man.
I think it was before they actually settled on the title. It was called Insomniac. It was going to be called Insomniac in the early stages, which again I think would have been a great title as well.
But the Son of Sam never slept. He, kind of shit.
Yeah, definitely.
That's dark as hell, right? You don't want to sleep because all you want to do is kill. Like, fucked up.
Yeah. But you want to sort of go into like some of the characters. You've got the, Giacomo character. He's kind of
Giacomo. Holy fuck!
I know it's a shit name. The actor's not very good either.
No, he's a piece of shit. Right.
He's one of the worst leads, I'd say, in an Argento film.
I would say he probably is. Would you?
Yeah, I can. Well, the woman is like his love interest in this film as well is awful.
Yeah, Max von Sydow he's the legs.
Oh man,
that's holding the fucking movie up.
He's just so fucking good. I mean, even in the scene, there's a scene with all that's in the scene is him and his parrot, and even he makes that fucking great. Honestly, I think he's definitely the best actor that's ever worked with Argento, hands down for me. I think so. And I mean,
I'd have to think about it because I don't want to leave somebody. I might be missing somebody, but Max von Sydow, is damn good.
Harvey Keitel, some people could say is, but
Yeah.
no, this Moretti, right?
Right.
This character is basically, he doesn't phone this in whatsoever. This is he puts everything into it, I think, and it's kind of definitely the strongest part of the film is the Moretti character. Some of the other
There's some
characters, not so much.
there's some questionable like shots in this movie too, though. Like,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
you know, because I remember seeing Sleepless the first time, I was like, hell yeah, I really liked it, you know. But like when you're going into it and you're like trying to like make sure you see everything, catch everything. You know the scene where it's like fucking, it's just like zoomed, it's like shot on the carpet.
Yeah,
It's
the
just
crawl.
looking at the fucking carpet, and I'm
It's,
just like,
yeah,
what the fuck, man? Like that was
it's
questionable.
fucking great. I think it's great, but a lot of people don't. It's the infamous kind of crawl sequence, they call it.
Yeah,
To where we just see
the
basically
feet.
their like the feet and the legs, kind of like a Tom and
You
Jerry
see a
cartoon.
vacuum and shit, and it's just like,
Yeah,
okay, I'm like, I don't know. I thought it was kind of weird, but
I think it's different. I think it works, but a lot of
uh,
people don't.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, so basically, this killer, he's going around, he's killing people to these nursery rhymes, as we said. But he's leaving out cardboard cutouts as well. So, we got cutout of the cat. But the thing is, with the murder sort of scenes as well, we think there's some kind of dwarf involved from the earlier case we mentioned on the train. The
yeah. So
dwarf
in the earlier
murders.
case, 17 years ago, there was a dwarf that like they say killed himself, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, uh, yeah, and that woman that was his mother,
Rosella Falk. Yeah,
yeah, she
very
was in.
well known actress.
She's been in several. She was in. Well, I'm trying to think of the one she was. Seven
Seven Blood
Bloodstained
Stain,
Orchids.
Seven Blood Stained Orchids. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I really know her from. But
Um, but yeah, he's basically going around killing like people to these nursery rhymes. Um, and I think some of the scenes are really brutal, and they with even the cutting of the fingernails kind of got to
yeah,
me in that one scene with
just
the
clipping the. But he's clipping the quick
yeah,
of
yeah.
of the of the nail. So he's not just clipping the nails; he's clipping that, and their
No,
fingers are
he's
just bleeding.
taking it right down. Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
kind of cringe worthy. Um, but like you say, yeah, the dwarf murders happened. I think it was like 1983. Um,
yeah,
and the whole backstory to that is kind of sketchy. Like I think
yeah.
there's kind of a few holes in that plot.
There's some
So
holes in this one, and the ending is not strong at all. It's like they didn't know how to finish the film. And I think even as good as Max von Sydow is in this movie, he still couldn't save how bad some of the dialogue was fucking written. Like it's
right,
bad.
yeah,
Some of this
yeah, yeah, yeah.
dialogue is shit. Like I'm like, holy fuck. But the visuals are fucking amazing. And the black glove killer scenes are fucking killer. You know, I love that shit.
It's yeah, yeah, I can kind of get past some of the acting performances are really bad.
Yeah,
But I can kind of get past that just for the visuals, like you
the
say. The
visuals in
murder,
this make up for it for sure.
some of the murder sequences, like the
Yeah,
fucking rabbit scene with the woman with the buck teeth, and she gets her head smashed.
yeah,
Fuck me, man.
yeah.
Um,
That's some
Kind of
mean shit.
reminded me of
Like
Deep Red
Tenebrae.
as well.
Like
Yeah,
Tenebrae.
Tenebrae, Deep Red.
I see
Um,
Tenebrae in this shit, especially the woman on the train. She's wearing a fucking yellow skirt.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what the hell? I was like, damn. So, like I said, you see Deep Red, which I can't say why, because then I would spoil the fucking movie. But I'll
Oh
say this.
God, I know exactly what you mean now.
I could say something, and it's not going to spoil the movie at all. There's a puppet in the fucking movie, okay,
Yeah,
that reminds me of Deep Red. So, in a way,
and I mean that's where some of the holes in the plot can come from. But I
yeah,
actually think it's goofy, but it kind of works.
yeah,
I you probably could work it out in the maybe the 1 or 2 scenes before it's actually revealed. But I actually kind of like it to it. But
I do. I think it's funny. Like you think
but it's
about
hokey. It's hokey as fuck, really. But
it is, man. It's
especially with
still,
the whole way that it's, because I'm not going to say why, but the whole way it's brought into the plot as well is kind
the
of
motive.
yeah.
The motive is fucking lazy
Yeah.
to me. It's I don't know. It don't make sense. The motive, really. Like the fuck.
No,
It's
there's, like you say, the writing is not there of his early films. Put it that way.
right.
But don't let us pull you off. But like
No,
any of you
no.
watching this, because it is great in its
Definitely
own,
check it out.
in its own way. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely check it out for the visuals alone, the score, Max von Sydow, you know, but the other people in this film, nah, man, I don't know.
But we got to mention the actual the bit that takes me a little bit out of it was the comedy music with the dwarfs.
The goofy cops in there too.
There's that, yeah, but there's
and the scene
when they get all the dwarfs in to
that's
like
a little comedy scene. They got the clown music playing. Like,
that should never have been in the film, I don't think.
Right.
There's no way you could fucking do that nowadays
right.
without offending anyone. But yeah, you've got, on a plus point we said about Moretti, Max von Sydow, but we have got Rosella Fulton we just mentioned. I think she's highly underused in this film.
She is, and she's a strong. She does a great job for what she's given. And so same with Max, man. I mean, for what he's given, he does great shit. So
there's definitely two of the reasons to watch this film, because I love seeing her come back, because I'm as we all, like me and yourself, we all are big Giallo fans. She was in Black Belly of the Tarantula. I don't think you've seen that one, have you?
I started it and I didn't get to finish it.
Right. Yeah, she's also in the one I keep banging on about, Killers on the Phone. So if you get a chance to watch that, definitely do. But yeah, you've got like trying to say stuff without trying to give too much away.
Right.
But the whole love interest with Giacomo and this girl who's basically, is she married to someone else? Gloria, yeah. She's not married, is she? She's got a boyfriend. Oh, she is married, is she?
Yeah, she's married to some, I don't know. He's kind of like a douchebag.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be the best way to say it.
But did you realize, I was amazed when I heard this, but those two were actually an item in real life with Gloria and Giacomo character, even the two actors.
Okay.
And there's no chemistry between them whatsoever in this film.
No.
So I don't know how that worked.
Like that one scene where she's like getting pissed off at him because he wants to fucking, he wants to help the
tramp,
the bum or whatever.
That don't make sense at all. That scene doesn't. Why would she be that pissed off with him? Because she gets really pissed off with him, right? I get it, the fact he's taking the tramp back home, and then all of a sudden she just kind of fucking
snaps.
It's
almost like was it a week? Was it supposed to be like we were supposed to think she was like part of it or some shit? You know what I mean?
No, that's exactly what I think. Yeah,
right. And it didn't work.
What it was. It didn't work at all. But that's exactly what I think he was aiming for.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden she becomes this. She's okay again, like, and she's helping it on
fucking bipolar. Like
it's weird. Yeah.
Fucking bipolar or something.
But the whole backstory with the dwarf, I felt, didn't really work as well as it could.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. How? Oh, never mind. I can't say nothing without.
Right. So, no, I know what you mean.
How would that work exactly? So you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, because he's rumored to have killed himself. We find out that he never, and without spoiling it, there may be another aspect to what's basically, there may be another aspect to what's gone on before. So the killings may or may not be the dwarf. If you know what I mean.
I'm thinking about the fucking last scene, like one of the last scenes, and then it just goes to credits. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like fucking
Yeah.
in the window, like
Yeah.
some shit happening in the window. That's some funny shit, man. Like,
Right. So
like,
go on. Yeah. Go on.
the cops finally saved the day in this one. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Yeah.
all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say. But
New York Ripper comes to mind with that scene, but
yeah, yeah,
I will say, won't give anything away, but I thought the way they ended with the character Moretti was kind of shouldn't have happened, if that's making any sense. So I felt that character needed to be right there to the end, and I was surprised at that. I don't know why he did that. I don't know if he was doing kind of a Hitchcock thing there. Do you think?
yeah. I don't understand that one either. Like, then it seemed odd, but
And it didn't quite work as well after
because the
that.
film drops as soon as that happens. The
As
film
soon as that character's gone, then because he's such a great character throughout the whole film,
right.
And then we're left with these fucking mundane characters again.
Yeah.
I will say the one.
I hate to say this. I hate to say this, man. I like Sleepless. Now for visuals and all that shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll give it shit an 8 just because of visuals.
I'll give it an 8 as well.
If I give it an overall rating, it gets a 5. Just because.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this fucker gets a 5 because of the couple things we've been talking about, especially the ending. Like, he didn't know how to finish it. Like, you know, it's not. The rest of the shit's great. Like the black glove killer scenes are great. The kills are great. The fucking, the way it's shot's fucking great. The writing is fucking weak. The acting is shit for a couple of these characters. And
okay, I don't agree with you giving it a 5, but like everyone's their own. But I will say with the ending, the writing is not great at all.
That's what drops it to a 5 for me, though. Like
there is kind of
motive, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the motive and there's a couple of twists as well that don't quite work.
Yeah. Now, visually speaking, if you just want to, if that's it, then it would be. You don't give a shit about the story, then it would be an 8. But I do give a shit about the story, and I do give a shit about a great motive. Like, you know what I mean? And that was just
there's no way that could have worked in real life with that. There's no way.
No.
And even, without giving anything away as well, even the one plot point with the inhaler as well didn't work. It's like they just fucking shoehorned that in. Yeah.
And that character, one of those characters, like, there's 3 characters that are fucking, I don't like them. I just don't care for them at all. Like, but one in particular is just like, dude, get the fuck off my TV, man. Like,
basically, it's this little group in there in the film, and 3 of them are just awful. I did like the other detective, nominated the other one, and the older guy as well.
He's kind of bum guy,
Yeah, he was really good. Apparently, Troy Howarth didn't think he come across as a tramp or anything. Didn't think it was cast very well. I thought he was perfect.
I think he did
was
good.
Perfect. Yeah. I do actually think the one shot in the ending, which, like I said, without giving too much away, did remind me a little bit of New York Ripper's ending. I do actually think that worked. That one part worked. I know you didn't think so. How can we put it? Just the demise of the killer, shall I say? I actually thought that kind of worked.
I laughed my ass off. I mean, it worked.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
I was like, God damn.
And that's good, though, because we both got different, different opinions.
I think it works that way,
The actual visual part of that shot, I thought worked.
Yeah.
In terms of, like Maniac,
But
They
it's
give it
just
too much away.
the way it's done though. It's just so fast and abrupt.
It's fast
And
and
then
there's no real fucking
it's so
suspense
fast
to
and
it.
abrupt, and we just go to credits. And I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
No, I agree with you there. Absolutely, he had no idea how to like end this film, and they even play the credits, didn't they, at the end, or like over, like a scene carrying on
Yeah.
over the credit.
They're
Which
still
is,
showing the scenes going on, and the credits are fucking rolling.
I actually thought that was a
That's
nice touch.
cool. I
Actually,
mean, it's cool. I'm just saying, like, it's like he just didn't know how to finish. It's like it's like somebody that's done busted too many nuts or something. They just can't finish.
no, you're right. You're absolutely right. But I hope we're not like putting people off watching this because
No,
I think
man,
it's well
no.
worthy.
Definitely give it a go. I'm just saying, like, rewatch value. I don't know. Like, after you've seen
Oh
it,
God, I
no, I mean,
totally.
I can still watch it. I'm just saying your opinion might change after you watch it a few times. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
This is one that I go to back to one of the most Argento
yeah.
films I go
I'm
back.
just
I
saying
watch
your
this
opinion of
every.
it might change a bit though. Once you
Yeah, in
start,
terms of that.
because you
Right.
start seeing more and more shit, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. So I would basically say, if you're in for the gore and you're in for like the kill
yeah,
scenes, the like Giallo killer scenes and all
definitely.
that, you'll absolutely fucking love this film.
The black glove
Uh,
killer scenes are fucking shot, fucking amazing.
oh yeah. And I mean, you'll like anyone watching this will like the Max von Sydow character, Moretti. I know we've mentioned it quite a bit, but
Yeah,
he really is a shining light in
he's
this
the
film.
legs of the movie. He holds the movie up. Without him, I don't know how good this
There's
movie would have
this,
been.
there's nothing without him, or even like the music as well. I think is a big character of the film. I really like that. But
Yeah,
I'm just so glad that Argento got to work with Max von Sydow because
he
that even
admired him.
though this is, uh,
He admired him, especially
yeah,
because of
they did.
the Virgin Spring, and he mentioned that about the Ingmar Bergman films. Uh, he was a big fan of Sydow.
Yeah, that completely makes sense. But yeah, so glad they worked together. I think this is for me is a strong kind of for the 2000s anyway, because Giallos are on the sort of down at that time. I
Yeah,
do actually think this was a return to form, even though it's got its horrible sort of things that we mentioned.
yeah.
Um, but I highly recommend this one. But just go in with low expectations and just expect to just be entertained. It's never going to live up to that fucking opening train scene
So
for the
yeah,
next,
so it's written by Carlo Lucarelli. So I'm gonna like pay attention when I see his fucking name. I'll still watch it, but I'll know what I'm getting into. Because fuck,
Well, that's the guy. He actually was a Giallo novelist.
yeah,
He wrote a story called Almost Blue, and they made it the same year as this, 2001. They made a Giallo called Almost Blue, which I've got a copy on digital copy, but I haven't got a physical release of it, so I've held off watching it. But apparently, that's supposed to be really good, like a
okay.
2000s Giallo. Um,
Let me catch the chat right quick. Let's see. We got Wild Wrangler in here. Hey everyone.
hey, Wrangler,
He says, "Hey Dirk and Darren, what's going on, man?"
what's up, man?
Got Chris in here. Chris seen
Hey,
the slasher dude. Hi, all slash the light. Just dropped on real quick to say hi. Yeah, man. Appreciate it,
yeah,
dude.
thanks, man. Big time, yeah.
And then and Wild saying, Chris, great review on the sleeper. Okay, I have to check it
Yeah,
out.
I did see that earlier. Yeah, I think he
I'll
gave it a
check it
six and
out.
a half
I've
out of
been
10.
running like a damn chicken with my head cut off. So, I've been busier than a one-legged man in a ass-kicking contest. So, let's see. Yeah, everybody's just saying, hey, okay. But yeah, man, I highly recommend all three, man. If you're like Argento, I would recommend to watch these three for sure. Stendhal, first watch you might be like me, I did not like this movie the first time. Second
Okay,
time, I
yeah.
liked it more. I think second time I liked it more, and then I gave it like a 4.5 or something. And then the third time it clicked a little more. So it sits at a 6 for me currently. But Trauma, it's a 7 for me. And then I hate to do it, but Sleepless, visually speaking, it's an 8 all day. Story, shit like that, acting with some of the characters, it's a 5, in my opinion. But yeah, but I'd
So
say
I would say, yeah, I would say Stendhal's a 9, a high 9 for me. And then you've got Trauma would be a strong 8, and I would give Sleepless an 8 as well, kind of
okay,
a like a lesser 8, a weaker 8.
yeah,
But I think highly recommend all three.
yeah.
I really do. I don't know what order would you watch them in the same order, probably
Uh,
like Trauma, Stendhal, and then Sleepless. Probably would be the better
yeah,
order.
they're three completely different films too. Like, but they do have so many elements from his other films. Sleepless
They
has
do,
the
yeah.
most. Though. Sleepless has the most, definitely. I think.
Yeah, they're kind of like greatest hits, some of them. But
Yeah,
he stuck to what he done well, and that's what I like.
I
A
do
lot of
like
people,
in Trauma though. I appreciate coming up with a, you know, a new uh, weapon, murder weapon,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the new
yeah,
somatic. That's fucking killer, man. That's original. I love that shit. Stendhal, I like the whole concept of somebody has Stendhal syndrome, and then a serial rapist killer uses that against them, and it's a highly original idea, man. Like Sleepless is kind of like it's not, there's not a lot of originality to it. That's why I gotta stick to my guns.
No, I get that.
You know what I mean? Sleepless is not really original. But, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And
would you think?
it's
Or
no, it's not. It's
it's
not.
not breaking any. There's no new element to something he hadn't done before. You know?
Yeah, it could have been so much better with that story. That storyline with the dwarf and all could have been great if they'd have kind of researched it a little bit more and made it make a bit more sense. Because that could have been great, but that's one of the big plot holes of the film.
Yeah.
Max von Sydow was actually rumored, I've got written down, was going to be in Mother of Tears, but he was early on. They put him on the film and everything, but it fell through for some
Yeah.
reason. But that would have been great to have seen him in Mother of Tears. I think I kind of like that film. I know it's not great, and I know it's not for everyone, but and it's definitely a poor part 3 of that trilogy.
Yeah, I really like Mother of Tears too, but
he could have been great in it. Well, he would have been great in it probably, so he might have
Mother of
elevated
Tears,
it a little bit.
Mother of Tears kind of has the same problem this one does. Like the ending is weak to me.
Yeah, the writing is poor in that as well.
But it's got a lot of
should
good
never
shit
have
in
been
it. It's got a lot of good shit in it.
Yeah.
There's some bad shit in it though. There's some bad.
So Mother of Tears is a for me, I think it's a good film. It's probably the best you were going to get for that time, but they left it way too long to make a third part to that series. I think
they wanted
should
to
have
play
left it.
They just had that itch to play with the CGI shit, But
Yeah,
I will say the practical shit in it's pretty damn good.
yeah. But I
Really?
say it was definitely like, what was it, 20 years too late. I think it should have been.
Yeah.
They should have had a bigger budget. They should have done it really properly and made it a
Maybe
bigger
3 years
spectacle.
after Inferno or something.
Yeah, even the middle to late 80s might have worked. But
Right.
yeah. But I'm glad they made it. But in a way, I'm not, if that makes sense, because maybe the two films would have give them more. Maybe it like devalues the trilogy a little bit. Some people.
I don't know, man. Like, because I've watched it in order. One night I watched. You got to have like 6.5 hours, 6 hours at least.
Oh God, yeah.
And I watched them back to back to back, and it makes a lot more sense when you do it that way.
Well, that's what I need to do. I think we'll definitely cover them at some point, didn't we? We'll do the trilogy at some point.
Yeah.
So I can, It's been quite a while since I've seen Mother of Tears as well, so I'm kind of itching to get back to it.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know if you've got anything else to say on Sleepless.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we did it, man. I know we haven't really covered Argento, and we'll get into some of his bigger things, but we needed to. I don't feel like these guys get that much recognition. They're still worthy of to have in your collection. They're still worthy of check out. But
these are great films. I think obviously Sleepless is not so much, but I think if these wasn't Argento films, people would warm to him a bit more, because he's always going to be judged on, fucking Suspiria, Opera, Tenebrae.
Deep Red.
Deep Red is like his masterpiece in a way, even though I don't like it as much as everyone else. But so I think kind of when you're always going to be judged on them, you there's only one way, and that's fucking down. You can't. There's no way you can recreate any of them.
The bar has been set, right?
Yeah, but take these for what they are, man. Just to go in and just fucking go in with low expectations and really, because I think you really enjoy them if you look at them at that level. Don't don't match them to Suspiria or Opera or any of those.
Because
you're just gonna be disappointed from the start.
Right. He's got like I've said, he's like Carpenter in a lot of ways. Argento is, to me.
Right.
They both got around the same amount of films. And I like.
Yeah, I was amazed by that. 21, I think they both got. Yeah.
And I like maybe half of both of their films, so it's kind of crazy,
but yeah, we're definitely gonna do more. I think if we do like films as we are, like 3 at a time, we'll kind of get through all the different directors that way.
Yeah.
Right. Because I want to give Martino. I don't want to just do 7 or 8 Martino in one stream, because I don't think it's doing justice.
No, I don't like doing more than 3, because
3 is perfect for me.
I think I think you kind of like overwhelm yourself, and you can't really focus in on as much. And
I think they'll all get kind of fucking mingled in together as well when you watch 7 on the trot, like Martino.
Fucking mixing and matching shit.
Exactly.
They don't fit. So. But yeah, man. I guess we'll get up out of here, and let's see. I got a couple of messages here. I like Trauma, just not his best. Yeah, it's not.
It's a really good film. It's not his best though.
It's his best American film though.
Yeah. Well, would you say, because we've never mentioned these before, his Master Horror episodes, mine, are really good. Don't know. They'd probably be classed as American, wouldn't they?
Yeah, would.
I'm not sure.
But I kind of don't consider them. I mean, I guess you could. It's like an hour long, but
I think Jennifer is fucking some of his strongest stuff as well.
I like Pelts too. Pelts is kind of weird.
Pelts is a great film, yeah, with Meatloaf. But I think Jennifer could have been a really good feature.
Really, really damn good.
So yeah, I would slightly say they were. I wouldn't put them above Trauma, but I'd say they're worth checking out, definitely.
Right. Chris says still need to watch Sleepless and Stendhal.
Oh man.
Yeah. Get on.
See, I wish I was like that in a way where I hadn't seen any of these before, so I could just go back and experience them again like that first time. Fucking hell, man.
And then Wild Wrangler says, "Mother of Tears. Last time saw it was 2008." Yeah.
I definitely say go back and give it another watch.
I would recommend watching Suspiria Inferno, and then watch Mother 2. That's
Right.
what I recommend if you can, But
The only thing I would say with that though is I don't know whether I'd be a bit, because I've seen all three obviously, but I mean if I do it like that, would I be even more like think of Mother of Tears is worse than what it is? Do you know what I mean? Because it don't stand up to the other two.
I think it adds to it though, like to the whole.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think it explains it better, like as a whole. You know what it is. It's
Yeah.
not
I
as
know. I
good.
know. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not
Yeah.
going to be
So
as strong. You kind of got to overlook that. But as the
yeah.
whole Mother of Tears trilogy, I think it's nowhere near as Inferno or Suspiria. But it is what it is, and I'm glad that they did it. So
It's good for what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
right, but all right, man. Well, I appreciate everybody staying with us, and if you're liking what we do, like and subscribe, and I guess we'll catch y'all next Saturday.
Yeah.
And
Have a good one, guys, and we'll be back next week.
yeah, I'll take care.
Bye.